welcome right here to the World of Sport. It is Talk Sport Live on your screen, reaching you live in the red from Global Television in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria. My name is Ramsey Enokagbo, and of course, we will be talking sports today. So many things happening from the world of sport. Well, it is on a sad note that we bring to you about the death of Olariwaju in Ghana. Well, it has been making round a lot of insinuations, so many things. Nigerians said, well, what about the medical test that was carried out before the fight actually took place? Was there nothing that was discovered? Why the slump and why the passing on? All these are medicines after death. Nothing can be done anymore. Olariwaju has gone to the great beyond, and we want to say may his soul rest in perfect peace. And don't forget that Lobby Stars still languishing in their relegation zone. And so unfortunate that something happened to Lobby Star. We'll be talking about that on this program. And Amorin has been talking endlessly, saying so many things. Well, sometimes some coaches talk based on confidence or based on their knowledge. All of that we'll be looking at on this program today. And you know, I can't talk sport alone. I would always have someone to talk sport with me most times. And today, joining me to talk sports is Ifeanyi Eze, a sport analyst to the core. It's good to have you join us on Talk Sport this morning.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Ramsey. It's a pleasure, everybody. Sports is life. Yes, sports is life. Football also gives breath. There's a lot of breath to sports. So when we talk sports, we open doors to a lot of things. So
I thought I'm the only one that know this. You can hear from my analysts. Sport is life. If you're not part of sport, if you don't love sport, something is missing, and that's exactly what it means. And of course, football, the round later game, bring breath, a lot of breath to the world of sport. Now, have you recovered from the Super Eagles game in Uyo? No, I see. It's not a joke. Anytime I'm doing sport these days, since after that match, I need to talk about it a little bit before I move on. Because of what happened there. Nigerians keep talking about it. They see me anywhere. They go, oh, Ramsey, you know, this. Try shifting blame. And, you know, some persons are saying, well, Chile, oh, that man is something else. He tried his best. Somebody say, oh, Victor Osimhen, my guy won't go to World Cup. What a world. And, you know, and then some Agbo is coming out to say, well, this is not the end of the road so far. So good. So how are you feeling since after that match?
yes, to be honest, I have not recovered. But having said so, we must say the truth the way it is. I give credit to Chile. This is his second match. You know, the last time I told you about the capacity of Chile and how I have my belief and faith on the person of Chile. He has proven it. He proved the first one. He proved the game against Rwanda. The guys were so serious and they were very articulate in terms of their marking and their pressing. Now coming to you, what happened in Uyo, as shocking as it is, complicity crept in, overconfidence crept in. You know, even outside the pitch of play, outside outside the Super Eagles and the other people there is coming to fans and the Nigerians and the Super Eagles fans, we have analyzed that, okay, we have gotten the 3 points away. This time around, coming to home soil, we are very sure of another 3 points.
I was expecting 3 goals.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yes. So even I know that this same team was also playing inside at the mind of all the super. Okay, is a tea party. Is this? I remember I always say something that football everywhere is not a tea party. It's a practical thing. You may play it up here in your head, but at the pitch of play, it's a different ball game. It is all about what you put up there. Now, what happened in that game was that after they had a very tough, it was very difficult for them to break through and put up that goal at around 74 minutes. Now, when they put up that goal, what happens? Complicity, carelessness crept in, especially within the back four, within the defensive midfield and the central defense. The goal, I don't want to shift blame, but at least if we point out the errors, we'll be able to make amends. At Ecom, should have cleared that ball off and save us that last minute.
Are you sure he was not scared of free kick? You know, and that's a very dangerous position.
Yeah, it was indeed. But he got to the guy. If you watch, he actually matched up, but he missed the target. He has the chance. He got to the ball, but he missed it. So he had a chance to.
He came out the following day to say, "Please, I take the blame." That was he was the captain, and he was the last man standing. So he said, "Well, I take the blame."
No
for
doubt,
all of that.
no doubt. Ekon has been exceptional.
Yeah, that's true.
He has been exceptional.
That's true.
So even with that, I think his sin has to be forgiven. Even with that, because Ekon is one person that has been exceptional in terms of play, in terms of also in terms of commitment. So he's not those kind of player that shows nonchalant attitude when it comes to Super Eagles or Nigeria issue. No, he's one person that I love so much. If you want to talk about players that are committed in Super Eagles, I think Ekon. If you call Ekon and Osime, maybe and a few others. So, man, that was a mistake, but credit to complicity. I must point out this: we are Nigerians, and Super Eagles is our team. Just like we support different teams all over the world, after we finish supporting Man U, Chelsea, when we come back, Super Eagles is our team. And we must speak. We must speak. Super Eagles, the guys, there's a lot of play within them when off pitch. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun. I'm not saying you shouldn't play, but when there are more serious things, focus should be the key.
When you say play, what do you mean? You mean they joke a lot?
You joke a lot, you know.
But they said all work without play make Jack it up.
It has limits. It has limits.
But they weren't partying. They didn't go for partying. They didn't go clubbing.
No, it's not play.
Just joke the crack among themselves.
Joke and all the blah blah blah. It's not only when you party. It's not focus.
Okay, they just need to sit down and just be sober and just be
No, it's not. No. You see, when you have some serious matches to take on in maybe 2 days, 72 hours or 24 hours, you can play, no doubt. But it should have a limit. You play to free off yourself, to erase yourself from stress. But the cardinal issue there is this: the focus.
The focus.
The individuals, the opponents. What are their key points?
Ifeanyi, I want to put you on a hot seat right now. You know, you said something. You said somebody like Truss Ekong is so trustworthy, so committed. Are you trying to say some of Super Eagles players are not very committed?
Yes.
Who are they?
I wouldn't want to mention names.
That's why I said I was going to put you on a hot seat.
I wouldn't want to mention names. But of a truth, Ekong, Osime, you can't take this credit away from them.
Okay, that's right.
Then, any of the Super Eagles members that have not committed himself up to the level of these two guys should not check himself.
Okay, so they are the most committed.
They are the most committed. There you can talk about Nwabali.
Yes. Oh, the last man standing.
Yes, you can talk about Nwabali.
The last man standing.
So, why lesser commitment and why higher commitment?
Okay, I think we will talk about that much later, because if I allow you, the way you're venting right now, you're going to talk so much about the Super Eagles.
Super Eagles is our team.
We may not have all the time, but then they are our team and they are doing awesome.
Let me quickly chip in something.
Okay,
Ghana. You know, Ghana, this is their last match.
Yes.
If you watch their their match at home and their match away, you see that Ghana has become a rebranded team. You see the fire. You see the fire coming out from Ghana players. You see the way they play. See the zeal. You see the resilience. Ghana used to, last few games, you remember Ghana, I think their coach or their FA had to put them on hot seats and tell them to their front, to their face. I say, if you don't want to play, look at what you need to do. X, Y, Z if you don't want to play. Now, I think their last match, the one at home, I think 5 or 3. Then their last match, the one they played at Morocco against Madagascar, they won 3-0. The result is not even the issue. The game. The seriousness.
The seriousness, the zeal.
We're not playing here. It's a serious business.
But meaning there is a problem somewhere in the Super Eagles that's not been discovered. Is that what you're trying to say?
The guys are okay. They are talented. They are skillful.
So why are they not giving us the goals?
Yes, they are talented. Okay. Let me even tell you. A lot of goals we actually missed last match.
I was watching the highlight. I watched the real game.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it to Uyo. I was supposed to be in Uyo, but one or two things I couldn't be in Uyo because of one or two things. And I was watching that game, though the platform where I watched it, it was more like a live game. And I saw a lot of chances. Then I went back to watch the highlights again. Those, in fact, my hands was on my head all through because of the chances that we had missed.
Correct. Little more composure would have buried those chances. Little more focus would have buried those chances. Little more zeal, persevere would have buried those chances. And this is the place of limiting play. Add more focus.
All right. I think you're hammering more on the limiting of play. Let me take you back to the statement you made about Ghana. You said something about Ghana, and that thing actually caught my fancy when you said, well, the Ghana authority, maybe the Ghana Football Association, GFA, gave instruction and they told the players categorically, it's either you play or you don't want to play, whatever AYZ, like you said. The same thing is happening in Lobby Stars. Let's talk about Lobby Stars a little bit. You know, Lobby Star, they are at the relegation right now. They are very close to relegation. If they've not even entered relegation, then at a point, I think 2 weeks ago, their salary, it was just like pay as you go. If you do well, you get a pay. If you don't do well, you get a pay slash and all of that. That's for the players, not the management.
Yes.
And some players were not happy. They were not excited about that. Then that continues. The complaint was there and they were not performing very well. They were not doing well. Remember, there are situations in Lobby Stars. One, they don't have a stadium. All right. Their Piraku Stadium has been under construction. They were playing in Nasarawa, you know, in Lafia. Lafia. They were playing in Lafia. Then they moved from Lafia to Bauchi Tafawa Balewa Stadium. That's where they were playing their home games. And you know the MPFL, of course, you know the power of home advantage.
Yes, we know that. We know
you know, so they never had all of that. Then they were not performing well. They had a coach. The coach was removed. The bull came in. Daniel Amokachi came in. Something happened. Water passed under the bridge, and he said, "Hey, come on, I'm not doing anymore." And he left. And they had someone else. And right now, just a few days ago, Lobby Stars Okafor is complaining right now. This is what Okafor is saying. Let me remind you that Okafor is recounting the attack that they had on players. Some talks attacked them while they were training. Back there in Makode, Benue State, they go to train. They don't have where to train in the stadium. So some unidentified supporters of the club came to attack the players. And the players and the officials of the club were attacked by talks during their training session on Sunday at the playground of the Government Model College in Makode, around that police station, as if you're going from high level down that access. And Okafor pointed out the fact that there is no security for the players. They were training and there were no security. Probably, I don't know, the way MPFL is being treated in Nigeria, I don't know why it is like that. And they were saying it is the players that were attacked. The management team that were there, they were not attacked. And they were like, hey, come on, was this staged or what's going on? Is it that the players are the one, the management are the one that connive with supporters to lynch on the players? So let's look at the MPFL. There is a problem somewhere. Nigerians don't like watching MPFL. And I think these are some of the things that contribute to the fact that Nigerians are not so interested in MPFL. So Lobby Star now. Let's talk about Lobby Star, Ifeanyi.
Now, before, let me quickly, let me start from Nigerians not loving to watch
NPFL,
the local league. You know, at any little provocation, they shift the blame to Nigerians. The management, that is NPFL in quotes, the people that manages local league, has a lot of loophole. It is high time we do things right and do things with passion in this country. It is high time we remove compromise and do things with our hearts. I will say this again. Football is a practical thing. It is garbage in, garbage out.
That's right, that's right.
But why you see that we are obsessed about foreign league is because of how attractive and how appealing it is. Look at how far, the distance, the mile, the kilometer that we watch from England. If they are playing Champions League, by 9 o'clock, somebody will watch till 12. In a case when there is extra time.
You will continue, but you know the one that amazes me? When you hear them talking at the viewing center, you hear, I go win this game, exactly. I go win this game. So I begin to think about the personalization of these teams. And this, we don't have all of this, the Super Eagles in the NPFL. Now, so what is going wrong?
Very good. Now, why do you have all this? Why do you have this such belief? Why do you have this occultic belief in those teams? It's because those teams have been built with an honest background. Sorry. Whatever thing they do, they display it. If they say they will sign SYZ, they will sign SYZ with such an amount. If they say SYZ is the match bonus and allowances, it is like that. The player knows that I am signing this and I'm getting this. This is what I will get. You have settled his mind. He's walking into the pitch as a warrior with a sound mind.
So he just need to get the goals coming.
It divorced.
Oh my God. I love that, man.
Bring it down to Nigeria. A management of a club says, I'm going to give you XYZ. He gives you the other one.
Instead of XYZ, they give you YXZ.
Why? So why you are on the pitch of play? If for those that have played football, getting into the pitch is not an easy thing. You may watch through, but getting into a pitch is not an easy thing. Apart from facing an opponent, you also face the crowd. It is not an easy to perform before the crowd, and so you have to go there with a lot of confidence and a lot of settled sound mind. So when you have at the back of your mind that after playing this thing that my SYZ will not be paid, my allowance will not be paid, man, it is not easy. That is on the side of the players. Now coming to the local league, they have not done their homework very well. Now let's take it to Lobby Stars. The issue with Lobby Stars at the moment, one, is a management issue. The management have not kept to their word. And that is why players have not been able to trust on their words. Life, apart from football, not only football alone, life is about trust. Trusting a process. A process is always invisible, but you have to trust the process because of the words of the person giving you the words. So when you say, go and play, your so thing is ready, I should be able to believe you and go and play. Sustain injury. Jump and catch the ball, in the case of goalkeeper, not minding if I'll hit my head, because I believe you say I should go and play. But when you say go and play, and I have the doubt in my mind, I will not play.
That's where the problem is coming from. All right, let's get ahead a little bit. We've been talking sport right here on Global Television, reaching you live and direct from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria, in case you're just tuning in. And that's what it is. And we're talking about the NPFL. We also talked a little bit about the Super Eagles and, of course, the Ghana Football Association and their players. And that's not all. Let's also look at the fact that the Super Eagles coach, to whom you've given some kudos that he has not performed badly, looking at his performance in just these 2 games. Like some person said, this is more like a litmus test for him.
Yeah.
Now, he's traveled out again for more consultation. Remember, we have like, was it 48 or 38 players, all right, that were called, that were shortlisted before we had the 23 out of them.
Exactly.
As I speak with you, Chile is gone out again.
Yeah.
He has traveled out to still do consultations.
Yeah.
Remember, you were giving kudos to Truce Ekong. Truce Ekong was someone who pledged allegiance to Nigeria when he had opportunity to play for another country, and is doing us this proud. And our coach, our new coach, is trying to tread the same path as it is right now. So what do you think? Is it that we should offload these players that we have and bring in new players, or you feel going for consultation and hunting for new players is not necessary because we have too many players on ground already? What do you think?
Okay, I think Chile is on the right path, and that is that is the character of a man that has a passion to succeed. In football, you need to get in anything you do, you need to get competition. You don't necessarily need to offload the players. Get competition. There are so many areas in the Super Eagles right away that need to be competed for, like the midfield, for instance. We have a lot of midfielders that they can talk to. I used to watch Eberechi, and we had wished Eberechi could just switch allegiance and come to Nigeria. I'm not trying to discredit Iwobi or whoever that is currently handling our midfield maestro at the moment.
I think a lot of people are saying so many things about Iwobi. Some people said he's a dancer, he's a musician, like you talked about distraction the other time.
Yes, exactly. So, but I
could remember those days. If you have Iwobi right there and you have Kelechi Iheanacho, then if you could remember, it is a done deal.
It is a done deal.
I don't know what's happening to Kelechi and Iwobi these days.
That's why I say distractions. Now, if you get someone like Eberechi and so many other people, so what I'm saying is this: Eric is on the right path.
Okay.
Talk to these guys. Get more people. Let them come down and compete. If you know that your position is threatened, you stand up. We need to put every player on their toe. Nobody should have monopoly of his position. Every position should be. People should work hard to earn or merit their position. That is the only way we can have the best. Now, even if you have gotten the shirt, you're on the pitch of play, we have another person that is equivalent or better than you on the bench. We have another 11 that if we introduce to the pitch, can run opponent down. That's the kind of Super Eagles we want. We used to have them. We still need them right away.
And you feel Chile is someone that can deliver?
Yes, exactly. Given to what his step at the moment, I think he's passionate about succeeding. So, Eric is on the right.
All right, Eric Chile, wherever you are listening or watching TalkSport right now, you've got a fan right here. Ifeanyi is one of your fans. Like all other Nigerians, many Nigerians, I heard. In fact, I read an ex-international actually gave him kudos after the game, despite the fact that we lost. And I watched a video where he was crying. He was crying after the game, and Nigerians were shouting behind him, "You are the best coach. You are the best coach. You are the best coach." That's the kind of encouragement Eric Chelle is getting from Nigerian fans. And of course, I saw Victor Osimhen and everyone trying to pet him. And that's how passionate he is. Now let's talk about some of Nigerian Super Eagles like Ola Aina, who has emerged as FA's Cup top dribbler. The Nottingham Forest defender Ola Aina, like I said, has emerged as the most prolific dribbler across the past weekend for the FA fixtures following their dramatic quarterfinal victory over Brighton Hove on Saturday, according to the football statistic providers. Was scored. They scored the Nigerian international completed 5 successive dribbles, more than any other player in the quarterfinals, doing Forest a 4-3 penalty shootout triumph at the MX Stadium on Saturday. His impressive display saw him outperform some of the Premier League most renowned dribblers that we know, including the Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne, the likes of Bernardo Silva, what is his name? And of course, Crystal Palace, Eberechi Eze, that you talked about right now. And of course, Aston Villa's Jacob Ramsey. These are great dribblers.
Yes.
But our own Olaina came to top all of them.
Yes.
But why? I don't know. What would you have to say about that?
Olaina has always been a player that I admire so much, right from the days at Torino, coming down to Nottingham Forest. He's a balanced right fullback. He has the confidence, he has the talent, he has the skill. He also has the pace, he has the energy. So this makes him a complete and balanced player. So it's not surprising that he was voted the best dribbler during the FA Cup last weekend. If you watch him, he's a joy to watch. Olaina is a joy to watch. I think right now he's one of the best right fullback in Premiership. So he deserves whatever thing that is being given to him.
Let me take you back memory lane a little bit, Ifeanyi. Do you remember our own very legend, JJ Okocha?
Yeah.
He was also one of the best dribblers that we have those days. And you could remember that one of the things, the shortcomings that JJ had is that JJ never won awards like every other person had won. And sometimes some people will tell you, well, you know, be dribble with a chalk. We want you to give us the goals. So how can you marry these two? Okay. Being a great dribbler, then you come play for the Super Eagles and you don't help us get goals.
No, the thing is this: football is a sport, but at the same time, it's also there to entertain you.
Okay.
So
you got it there.
Yes, it's also there to entertain you. So when you dribble, when you do some magic, goal is quite important, no doubt. But we shouldn't just play boring football and get a goal. We should entertain the crowd. We should have those suspense and intriguing moments that captures. That's why people pay money to go to go there and watch. If not for that, maybe people would have sit at home and watch on the television and blah blah. But you need those magic moments, and that is why, yes, JJ may have not won any major award, but today is a legend.
He's a legend today.
When you come to football, so you can't take that away from him. So dribble is part of football. Now talking about Olaina, in Super Eagles, he has also provided a lot of assistance. The last goal, he assisted Osimhen. He gave that assist. And apart from the last goal, his contribution toward the attacking process is also very, very vital to Super Eagles. Understand? So his paces, he comes in, and his passes, he's visionary. So I think he has done well both at the club level and at Super Eagles.
All right, he has done well both at the club level and the Super Eagles side, playing for Nigeria. This is Talk Sport, reaching you live and direct from Global Television. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we're going straight to Euro. I don't know what's happening, but Ruben Amorim has been talking. What is he up to? I'll let you know when we return from this break. Ifeanyi and I are still here to talk sport alongside with you. Stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Welcome back. It is a TalkSport Live on your screen. Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has confirmed Harry Maguire and Leroy Yoro are fit and available for the Premier League trip to Nottingham Forest, and that's going to be tonight. Maguire have already mixed United's last 4 fixtures since he was injured in a FA Cup tie against Fulham. Then for Euro, on Euro's side, he has been unavailable since he went off a half-time of the league game at home to Arsenal 2 games ago. Now, they are returned. Do you think it's going to make any difference? They are returned so far. The games will be going down tonight. After this, I'll give you the fixtures so that we can also talk about it. But this very game, the return of these guys, what difference do you think it's going to make for Arsenal, for Manchester United?
Manchester United. Yeah, it's going to, of course, it will boost the team. Anytime, any day. I know Maguire has his shortcoming, but he's one defender that can also boost the team. He has been in the team for a very long time. He has captained the team. So his presence or his coming back to the team gives the younger ones the confidence and the energy to operate. So Amorim is right by confiding on the return of these 2 guys to boost the team. And mind you, at least there's Udogu. Udogu has also been a very effective player in Man U since he arrived. So the team, Manchester United tonight, I think they'll have a full squad facing Nottingham Forest.
All right, Manchester United tonight will have a full squad facing Nottingham Forest. Before we bring you the features, some few stories before then. Rashford is not my player. Manchester United manager Amorim is the one saying that. Let me tell you something. Fans, I want to tell you something. Just listen to me. This is, I said Amorim is talking. I could remember back then, if you call Rashford, anytime Rashford or Martial is coming in for Manchester United, a lot of expectations. Yeah. But now Amorim is saying Rashford is not my player. And according to the Manchester United boss, he has insisted that Marcus Rashford is not his player at the moment. Amorim is speaking right now, and this statement actually came during a pre-match press conference ahead of Manchester United's Premier League clash with Nottingham Forest that's going to be coming up today. I told you I'll give you the picture much later. And you can recall that Rashford fell out of favor with Amorim at Manchester United. And the drama, the rest is history. You already know what I'm talking about. The England international eventually left Manchester United to join Premier League side Aston Villa on loan for the remainder of the season. And as I speak with you, Rashford has been doing well at Aston Villa. But then Amorim said, he's not my man. He's not for me. He doesn't got my swag. All right, but he's doing well in Aston Villa, scoring a brace in their FA Cup 3-0 win against Bristol. And that was on Sunday, if you could remember. Then Rashford ahead of Man United's clash with Nottingham Forest. Amorim said, this is exactly what he said, and I would like to quote him as it is being quoted by the football sport analyst Fabrizio Romano. He said he is confused of the tiers and the players, the team and the player. Rashford is not the player that he needs at the moment. Are you on the same page with Amorim?
I wouldn't want to blame Amorim. Whenever you have fallout with a particular individual players, you wouldn't want to get distracted as long as the players is no longer in your team at the moment. Like what Amorim said at the moment that Rashford is not his player, that he only wants to focus on his own player and work with what he has at the moment. But not that Rashford is not what he needs. He needs player in Rashford capacity at the moment. Because Rashford has a lot of improvement that he has gone to the moment he left Manchester United and go to Aston Villa. Since he went to Aston Villa, he has been doing so well, he has been performing so well. Just last weekend, he scored a brace, helping Aston Villa to secure 3-0 away win. And when he was at Manchester United, of course, he was a very cardinal player, very important player, and that have helped the team to also make a lot of progress. But putting it in context of what Amorim said, at the moment. And as a coach, you need to work with what you have. If you don't work with what you have, you'll be distracted. If you don't, you cannot have, the truth of the matter is that Amorim cannot have Rashford at the moment, at his team tonight. So that is the bottom line. So what he's saying is this: he is not his player for tonight, and he can never be his player for tonight. So it's better he focus on the one he has and work on them on how to achieve victory.
All right, so let's quickly look at the fixtures of the games going down today. We have Arsenal taking on Fulham, and that game is going to be 7:45. Then we also have Wolves. Wolves will be taking on West Ham United at the same time, 7:45. Then don't forget that we have the game that we just talked about, Nottingham Forest taking on Manchester United, and that game is going to be 8 p.m. We've already talked about a Manchester United game. But then, do you see Manchester United winning that game? Looking at their current form.
Yes. What I don't see is Nottingham winning the game. Nottingham would have, they are coming from a very drained match over the weekend. And that match was actually played by, I think, almost their first 11. So it will tell on them. But for Manchester United to win the game, I'm not sure of that. I think the best Manchester could get there is draw. But they will not lose.
What about the other games? We have
Arsenal versus Fulham.
Fulham.
It's a tricky game for Arsenal. Very, very tricky game. Fulham has had a lot of, have given Arsenal a lot of trouble in the time past. But with the Arsenal, with somebody like Saka coming back, Arsenal may likely have a slim victory. But a tricky one indeed. Then going to Wolves and West Ham. There are two teams that at the same level at the moment, operating on equal strength. So side by side, it can go either way for the Wolves and West Ham United. Yeah.
Okay, either way, it can go for Wolves or Nottingham Forest. All right, that's that. Well, let's see how those games will be going down. And don't forget that, as a matter of fact, we will be looking at other things happening from the world of sport. Just go watch those matches. And tomorrow we will bring you the result of those games. Then don't also forget that Manchester City hit with Haaland injury blow. As a matter of fact, the issue a statement yesterday, and they were providing an update on Erling Haaland's ankle injury. Haaland was actually forced off during the FA Cup win over Bournemouth on Sunday, and the Norway striker, who had made it a 1-1 with a close range of finish, was actually replaced by Oman Marmoush. Haaland was later spotted in a protective boot as he left the Vitality Stadium amid concern that his season may already be over. My God, it's not a good one. City had won, of course. Now they offer an update on his current fitness. You know how instrumental Haaland is to Manchester City.
Yes.
But then he's going to be away, and maybe probably, the level where the season is right now, he may be out for the whole of the season. Is he going to make any difference?
Definitely. City at the moment, the season is over for them in terms of winning Premiership. Well, they are still competing for FA Cup, but they don't have the best team. They don't have a good team at the moment, not even the best team. If you watch their game against Bournemouth, I think they considered first. These days, they have a lot of loophole, a lot of issues going around it, a lot of weak players, a lot of weak positions that they need to strengthen up. Then what happens is this. Most time that they did not play very well, Haaland ends up saving them through his prolific nature of scoring goals. Haaland is one person that you can give 3 chances, he buries 2. Sometimes you can give him half and he converts it. Goals that you least expected from a striker. So even when City are not playing so well, he ends up saving them an embarrassment or a situation or matches. So now that he's out, it's going to be a very big situation, a very disastrous situation for City. But if Coach Pep Guardiola can put his ass together, then push for the FA Cup, also see how he can secure top 4 finishing for the season. But if you ask any other trophy, like in terms of Premiership, I think it is a forgotten issue for Manchester City. Talking about Haaland, the effect of Haaland for City, of course, is a great vacuum that he has created.
All right, this injury is not going to do Manchester City any good. The absence of Haaland may bring more stress to the team, but then sometimes you don't expect these injuries coming. They just come the way they are, and when it comes like this, you don't have any option than to just take it. Still going back to Manchester United a little bit, I feel like talking about Bruno Fernandes, his movement to Real Madrid. You know, there have been a lot of rumor here and there. You hear this today, you hear this tomorrow. Even the coaches and some persons are not even very sure whether or not he's going to go or whether they are going to allow him to go. But I would like our fans to know that Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has made a lot of statements, and he has ruled out any possibility of the captain Bruno Fernandes joining Real Madrid at the end of the season. The report has actually emerged at the weekend, claiming that Real Madrid are keen to add Fernandes to their squad in the transfer window. Real Madrid, una too like better players. I tell you the truth. Those guys are something else. Don't mind me. I need to code mix and code switch. That is why sport is entertaining. So if I speak pidgin inside,
that's why it's live. That's why it's live.
All right. So I don't know. But then the coach is saying, hey, come on. He ain't going nowhere. And it's been claimed that the Spanish La Liga giants are already considering a 90 million pounds bid, okay, to bring the Portugal midfielder to Santiago Bernabeu. What do you think? If he leaves Manchester United, is there going to be a vacuum? And do you feel he should even go to Real Madrid at all?
Yes, huge vacuum he will create. At the moment, I think he's about the only player in Manchester United. He's about
so all the other walls are just built around him.
Yes, he's about the only player in Manchester United. And talking about will he go to Madrid? Indeed, he will go to Madrid if Madrid persists. Every player wants to go bigger. Every player wants to operate on a bigger stage. One thing about Madrid, it has become their antecedent that when they come for you, except along the line, they decide they don't want you anymore. They come
so no going back.
Yes, except along the line, they decided, okay, we're going to back out. We don't want this player. But if they indeed want the player, it happened with David Beckham. It happened with Rooney. It happened with Ronaldo. It happened with so many other players that Madrid picked interest on. After going front and back, after a lot of rumors, after a lot of resistance from the management and the manager of the team, and of the team of the player, the incoming player, at the end of the day, the player left. The same thing with Mbappe. After said and done, Mbappe is today a Real Madrid player. Then coming to Madrid, the need of Bruno Fernandes in Madrid. Fernandes need to go to Madrid. One, he need to up his game. He need to operate among the big boys. He need his effort. He need where his effort to be appreciated. Bruno Fernandes is one person that is very accurate in terms of passes.
But is he not appreciated in
He's not appreciated in Manchester United. I'm not talking about the management of the team. I'm talking about his colleague, his teammates. When you release a pass, a wonderful pass, and nobody to connect and make use of it, it is not appreciated. When you go to a place that your pass will be appreciated, if you give passes that do not result to goal, assists will not be given to you. But you have made a lot of effort, releasing a lot of dead passes, a lot of killer passes, sorry. So, stretchings. So, if Fernandes go to Madrid, those passes that he will dish out will be well utilized by those that knows how to utilize
Compared
them.
to how it is in Manchester
Compared to
United.
how it is in Manchester United, I'm sure Fernandes himself knows. That is one. Two, coming to the side of Real Madrid, they need Fernandes to replicate what Cruz and Modric used to do. Those two guys have dropped. There's what they call switching. When you play, at a time you see Cruz stretching the game. You see Modric releasing killer Nasa passes that cuts opponent off. So at the moment, because of their age, they have dropped. So those things are not.
So they need someone.
Yes, those.
Bruno
Yes,
Fernandes
this is
to
what
do that.
exactly. These are things that Madrid. You have in Madrid about three up front that are very pacey. You have Mbappe, you have Rodriguez, you have Vinicius. These guys has pace.
All right, these guys have pace. Time is not on our side. We would have loved. I would have loved us to talk about more about Bruno Fernandes and do an assessment of Manchester United and of course Real Madrid. This is Spain here and this is England here. Yeah. All right, I would have loved us to also talk about the fact that Carlo Ancelotti is telling Hendrik to wait for his own time, that he's going to get playing time when his time comes. I would have loved us to talk about that, but look at time right now. You see waiting time they do us. We would have talked more, talk sports more, the entertainment, the intrigue, the suspense is so much to dish out. But then time is not on our side. But then, so good. Tomorrow is another beautiful day. A very big thank you to you, Ifeanyi Eze.
It's a pleasure.
A very veteran sport analyst for joining us on Talk Sports.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Fans out there, this is the limits that we can go right now as far as Talk Sport is concerned. But don't worry, you don't need to panic about anything because we dish it out on a daily basis. Why? Because sport ignites, sport unite. Especially if you're getting it day and night. There is no double dose when it comes to sport. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Have a beautiful day and see you again some other time. Bye-bye for now.